Welcome! My name is Pseychie, and this is Zero to Hero. In this series, I will be doing a full playthrough of Dead Cells in 2023, and maybe I'll do one of these once per year, just to kind of get a feel of how the new player experience is. So, the following footage was streamed live here on this channel, and if you weren't able to make the stream, don't worry, because that's what this video is about. The goal and rules for this run is very simple. The goal is to get the final ending of Dead Cells. And there's really only one rule I'm going to follow. Normal mode only. And I apologize if the mic you're about to hear from myself on stream sounds a little different. That's because I was using a different mic for that setup. And if you want to see the unedited stream footage, the link to an unlisted stream can be found down in the description. It would also include the 1BC run as well. And if you want to catch me live for any future parts in the series, it will be done right here. So without further ado, enjoy the first episode of Zero to Hero. Yeah, and I know some people are a bit struggling with the game. So for this playthrough, I will be going over like my thought process of what I'm doing. Just so, you know, some people out there might get a good idea of what you can do to kind of maximize your chances of winning. Alright, so this is the collector. I think the first thing is definitely health flask. That's very important. You know, if you have more gold, you don't die. And that's the starter mutations. I actually forgot how few there were. Interesting. We'll probably just get combo, right? It's just a generally good mutation to take. And I think that is the reworked version. It's really annoying of the base management for Cult of the Lamb. That's actually a complaint that I heard. I don't know how bad it is. Like a lot of indie games, they do constant updates. Like a new business plan, like a new business strategy I find some games do these days, is that they make a game. If that game ever takes off, they just keep updating it. Like say, new DLCs, new like smaller updates, content patches. So I know this is a little unexpected, but I actually play like open world survival games. There's this one I've been playing. It's called The Long Dark. It's quite interesting, and then surprisingly, that game has been developing since like 2013. So I've been playing that, and then something they did, and this is quite interesting, is that when they first released the game, they released it for like $20 or so. And then what they would do is that every time like a huge content patch came out, they would just increase like the base price of the game. So if you bought it at launch, you bought it for $20, and then the new updates came out, you would just keep all of the future updates. Like, you wouldn't miss out on anything. But if you buy it like later on, you would have to pay like a premium for it, which I thought is a pretty cool business strategy. First skill, Sinew Slicer. That's a really good one. Like, Dead Cells today is probably worth more than how much it was worth at launch. Because I actually don't know how much Dead Cells costs right now. And I'm not sure if it's like the exact same price as it was at launch. But obviously, like, what are we, like 5 years into the game? There's gonna be... The game's gone through like a lot of updates. So if they increase like the base price of the game, like would people be okay with that? Have you played Elden Ring? Yes, I have. I actually have a video of it, of me like cheating the game with Rivers of Blood. Which, you know, if we're thinking of something equivalent, it will be like using the baseball bat in this game. The baseball bat gets some, a little bit of criticism of, you know, the game basically turns into easy mode if you're using the baseball bat, which I can definitely relate with. Oh my god. I keep forgetting I don't have the wall climbing runes. Like, I want to go up there. Oh, right. Oh, this is where you get the Vine Rune. Right. That's interesting. Wait, so is this just an elite? Oh, it's just an archer. Okay. I thought that was like a fully fledged mini-boss. Maybe they can change that. Because I'm pretty sure they didn't change the new player experience too much. But I think for 0BC, we can probably just rock this full blood build. I actually didn't know you get Bloodsword as like one of your first weapons. Have you played Deep Rock Galactic? I have, and I actually want to talk about this. Believe it or not, I have more hours in Deep Rock than I do Dead Cells. I think if you look at my Steam history, it's like 500 plus hours. I know it's very far-fetched from roguelike. It's definitely not a roguelike. Well, if you count like a leveling thing, like if you count, technically, you know, 4 players go on a mission. If you fail the mission anytime, you gotta restart. Yeah, highly, highly recommend. And then you find, they have a battle pass system, which, you know, I know gets a lot of flack these days for being predatory. If you have the game, you have the battle pass. You get it, no strings attached, you just have it. Like, that concept to me is insane. And how they fund the game is that they use cosmetic packs. So every once in a while, they have like a $5 to $10 cosmetic pack. It's probably the only game where if you go in the Steam reviews, there's actually people saying that you should buy the packs when it's not discounted to support the developers. So we can roll with this, right? I mean, I think Bleed is just strong enough that I think I'm just gonna get the second health flask. Getting the 4 health flask is just so important, I think. Mutations. Instinct doesn't work with Blood Sword, so we'll probably just go Killer Instinct. What's your favorite unconventional video game? A game that I played that I honestly did not think I'd enjoy was Death Stranding. So, like, I know a lot of people just see Death Stranding as like a walking sim. I actually really enjoyed it. I actually 100% of the game. I bought it on PS4 when it was on sale. And surprisingly, I enjoyed it. So... And this is... Oh, this is custom mode, right. Did you like the story of Death Stranding? I thought it was fine. The combat was... it wasn't that good. Especially like the gunplay. The gunplay just felt really... it felt really generic, but obviously combat is not... I forgot about these guys. Combat is not the main focus of the game. Because if you come across bandits, you could actually use like your packages or their packages to like lock and fight, like literally whack them in the head and knock them unconscious. And then since it's Kojima is the one that directed the game, you can pee and poo in Death Stranding, and then you can use them as bombs against your enemies. Like that is next level right there. So roguelikes I'm looking to this year, Hades 2. I don't know when that's gonna come out. I remember one studio announced the delay. I'm not sure if it was Hades 2, but they announced early access is coming out this year. Excited for that, by the way. Yeah, I think I said this in the last video, but Zoneless was called Zenless Zone Zero. Yeah, that's the one. Same company that made Genshin Impact. I think it's coming out next year, so I'm gonna play that as well. Yeah, also the new Honkai game just came out. I don't see a lot of people covering that, at least like a lot of mainstream gaming outlets covering it. Though I gotta say, I'm not really too deep into turn-based combat. It's not exactly my thing. I actually wanted to talk about this. So, I know MiHoYo were like the guys that made Genshin. They get a lot of like backlash surrounding their games. Because I know for a fact that there is a very dedicated group of people that hate on Genshin, and they hate people that enjoy playing it, which is crazy. Because I know when it came out, people criticized that it was like a Breath of the Wild clone. Okay, I played it for like over a year. I have played Genshin Impact for over a year, and I think it's very good. Like in terms of live service elements, it is on point. So I think we'll just go recycling. I know this build is definitely shifting all over the place, but I think I'm just gonna pick like whatever works. And I think with Inventory Bow, I can actually pick Instinct now, because it does do crits. But from what I hear, it's the animations, everything about it looks really smooth. Like animations on point, the voice acting, well, like everything about it is really good. Concierge, my old friend. Ah, rip. That always gets you. I don't have my arrows. Alright. There we go. I did get hit. Very unfortunate. But yeah. Flint. Interesting. And I think this is the daily challenge. Yeah, that's probably the one thing that's annoying about Concierge, is that you could get like cornered into you could get cornered and he just like gets you with the aura. So it's just, I haven't done this in such a long time. Usually it's maxed out, but obviously I don't have any plus items at the moment. You can't go to slumbering. At least I'm pretty sure this will lead to slumbering, right? If I can, yeah. I can't get to that because I don't have the wall rune. The newer DLCs are balanced around the fact that you do have a lot of the runes already. It's just that if I don't have the runes, I don't really want to, you know, get caught in some weird platforming puzzles. Because I know they still have like small bugs here and there that prevents you from progressing if you don't have certain runes in the game. These guys are so annoying. And just right off the bat, like a tip I can give out if you're just starting out is just use your skills pretty casually, I guess. Like, don't try to save them for anything. You get those so frequent. Like the skills, they go on cooldown so frequently that you don't really need to save them for anything. Like in this scenario right here, since there's a pirate captain, I honestly just like drop both of my skills here. If you have piercing on the bow, well, I guess on any bow, it makes it like a lot better. Stowe Village is a pretty small biome. Like once we get to this section with the key, you're basically halfway through. So for Stowe Village, there's essentially only 2 areas. So the first one is like that building to the left, and there's gonna be one more to the right, and that's pretty much the entire biome. Yeah, so basically you have one structure to the left and then like a big structure to the right. It's basically just these two giant buildings. And then once you complete these two, you're basically done with the level. Do they let you go to the Sepulchre on 0 BC? Because I'm pretty sure the default route is Timekeeper, right? You go to Clock Room and then you fight Timekeeper. Oh right, the food shop. I forgot about this. Well, I certainly don't need that right now. Oh, no piercing. Still got no piercing. So yeah, in that scenario right there, if I had piercing on my bow, I would have taken out that kamikaze bat. So if you're using a bow, try to get piercing on it. We'll probably just go to Clock Tower, the way it's intended. But it's good to know that you can actually go to the Sepulchre. Oh no, you can't. You can't because I don't have this. Okay, looks like you can't do it. Right. 24 cells. That is not a lot. Heart of Ice. I can unlock the flint. I think it's gotta be flint, right? It's flint because I just realized combo and what's it called? Killer Instinct, they actually don't work with infantry bow. So those were just yeah, I think I'm gonna go with flint for now, but we might do something. Because if I take infantry bow here, because I don't have a lot of mutations, right? If I take infantry bow, oh, so is this where you unlock the weapon upgrades? I see. Okay. Flint is really good. Oh, that's nice to hear. Yeah, let's use the flint then. And then for a second I thought you could break the floor room with this. You could do that with the wrecking ball, right? And if you're struggling with the game, like you can't beat certain boss style levels, an advice I give is to just take a break. Like if you take it's kind of like studying in school. When you're just cramming stuff into your head, it's likely not going to do as well. Oh god. it's not gonna do as well versus if you take breaks. Because what you'll find, at least this is what I've found, is that if you take breaks and you come back later, you actually find yourself improved. Is mashing Flint actually better? I never really played with Flint, so I'm not sure what's... Oh my god. Can you get that if you don't have the DLC though? Because I know when, what was it? When Queen at Sea was like about to be released, they... I don't know how it happened, but like this was before the DLC came out. But if you went into the daily challenges, you could actually like get some of the DLC weapons, even if you don't have the DLC. Yeah, we'll meme a little bit. You can get legendaries? Oh, that's pretty hilarious. I don't know if that's intended or not. That is really good. So Rhythm Bazooki, if you just spam it, it goes like this. So there's 3 hits in the combo. But what you can do is that you press it once, and you press it as soon as like that musical note pops up. If you do it right, you can chain the 3rd hit together. Like this. And it just keeps doing crits. We could actually get the punishment, right? We could get the blueprint. Because you just need to ring the bells in a specific order. So from what I remember, if you want to unlock the punishment shield, you have to ring the bells. Though I don't know where they are, because I haven't been paying attention. Yeah, so a bell like this. So when you hit it, it makes a sound. It's lowest to highest, though I'm not sure what constitutes as like the lowest. Like, I thought that sounded pretty low. Well, that one was really high. Oh, this is one of them. So this is like the middle. I can definitely tell this is the middle one. Because the one I just rang the first time they definitely sounded the lowest. This one was like mid-ish. Oh, is this it? That's a really low sound. Depending on the order, that has to be the first or the last one. It's lowest to highest, so this is the first one. I ring this one first, right? There we go. We solved the puzzle. I don't know how much it costs though. I hope it doesn't cost too much. We just missed it. I would love to have a shield for the timekeeper fight. Oh my god. Can you do something? Oh, flawless. This one's gonna be pretty hard. I already lost it. Like, I thought she started with that move. Oh my god, the wolf trap is like screwing things up. Okay, that's fine. I guess that's one downside of wolf trap. It kind of screws up your timing. I definitely noticed that about some weapons. Oh, I can get punishment now. Yes, okay. This is definitely not a brutality build. This does not look like brutality. Whatever. So, when you're going... I think you can go to... Oh no, you need the key. You need the key for Queen of the Sea, so you can't go there quite yet. This one is pretty annoying. High Peak Castle is a little annoying because of those guys that spin like a tornado. But I do have a shield now, so I feel a lot more confident. Yeah, so those guys right there. They spin like a tornado. And then they'll do like a melee strike, which you can actually punish by parry. So in High Peak Castle, there's oh, by the way, that's Shovel Knight. There's 3 doors. You have to fight 3 elites. Well, you technically only have to fight 2 of them. But I do recommend that you fight all 3. And I'll explain why that is, in case like someone might not know. So you actually only need to get 2 of the elites, because to unlock the door to the throne room, you need 2 keys. But you can actually get all 3 if you wanted to. So that's the first one. How do I beat the distillery? I might actually go there after this run, just to kind of demonstrate. So something... Oh, wow, that's a challenger. And I think I'm gonna take this because of the extra jump. The extra jump in challenge rifts is really good. And in these shurikens, you can actually parry them. You can also duck. You can duck under these. That's basically... Oh yeah, that's a picture of Giga Chat right there. They haven't been changed ever since the game was launched. But what you do is that you always look for amulets that give you the most amount of stats in your color. Like the affixes on it almost don't matter. So if you have an amulet that gives 2 brutality versus one that's a split, one that gives brutality and survival, you take the one that gives 2 brutality. Because of just how, I guess, damage scaling works in this game. Right, okay, well we found the exit, so that's good. I mean, obviously, I think if you're low on health, you might just get out when you get the 2 keys. But I think if you're just playing the game and you have like an average amount of resources, so probably as I'm like demonstrating it here, you would try to get all 3 of the keys. So if you're still doing the boss cells, I recommend turning the lore rooms on because some of them could give you items. You don't need to pay attention to the lore. You just skip through the dialogue and you maybe get something. Like I remember one of the lore rooms, they actually give you like a large food item, which is nuts. Like that's... Uh-oh. Yeah, you can actually interrupt that. Okay. That was a little bit of a weird situation to be in. The bat? The bat has been nerfed. I know that, but I don't think it's quite enough. So obviously I don't think they can make one item that's way too powerful. There's definitely have been instances of that throughout the lifespan of Dead Cells. Face Flask was one of them. Corrupted Power is still really good, by the way. Like, when you do a new DLC, you're gonna add a bunch of new weapons, and you obviously can't make them... Oh, yeah. You can interrupt the tornado if you time it right. They can't make the new weapons too strong. Otherwise, people will just say, you know, it's kind of pay to win, you know. Because that's basically saying you need to have the DLCs to get these better weapons. So, like, how they handle new weapons is that it's mainly horizontal progression. So yes, they add more flavors into the game, but I wouldn't say it necessarily makes the game easier. Like, it just adds more options into the game. Did I miss anything? Well, I actually didn't explore a pretty big chunk of it. Yeah, another thing I recommend is just explore the entire biome. No matter where you go, it's just... Oh my god. You never know what you're gonna find. And I wasn't paying attention, that's okay. What is this? Oh, right, I forgot about this. I forgot about this lore room. I haven't seen this in so long. Right, so that's the weapons that the servants took. It's the Gilded Yumi, the Bladed Tonfas, and the Wrecking Ball that's missing from their weapon rack. Yeah, and I think this lore room's new with Queen and the Sea. Because you see the portrait of the Queen is like upright, and then the portrait of the King is like all cracked and crooked. But another thing I want to point out is it doesn't really matter what kind of setup you're running. Every single build in this game is viable. Every weapon is viable. If you can get enough like support or synergies, you can make anything work in this game. That's in there. So this is why we get the 3 keys. You only need 2 to reach the Hand of the King, but you can get a third one. And if you do that, you get an additional scroll at the end, which I always recommend that you do. So to get the boomerang, I don't have it here, but you need the homunculus rune, which you get it by beating Hand of the King once. So we'll do that now. But if you're here on like a subsequent run and you want the boomerang, you don't actually have to physically go down there. You can just launch your head and then just pick up the blueprint. Maybe we'll demonstrate that, but not in this run. So yeah, we're ready. We can reroll the mutations too. Okay, it doesn't... I thought they would actually let you do that. I guess not. We could get Vengeance, and we could get Combo. Combo actually works here. And then for these, we can just upgrade these, because it's the end of the run. Like, at the end of the run, you usually have a lot of gold. And if you want to fish for, like, the perfect affixes, then you can do that. Hand of the King. Oh, right, this is the first run, so... Watch me die on Hand of the King, that would be pretty funny, yeah? Oh, right, he does 2 rounds of enemies, right? I think that's what happens, right? Okay. So when he launches the worms, if he spawns the worms, you kill those first, because you don't want the bombs distracting you. Ah, I got hit. There we go. Wow, that was pretty good for a first run. I can't believe I beat the game first try. That's pretty good for a new player. So you get the boss cell. You have to... Oh my god. It still has the scrolls on it. So before like a certain point in updates, weapons actually gave you scrolls. I don't know if this is still intentional. I guess they just haven't changed it. But like weapons used to give you scrolls. So we'll do this and we'll kill him.